refine Himself in our lives. So for exercise, not really, not really. But I pray I'll be able to do it. But for the years, it has been doing the work of God and being actively ministering on stage. I can say maybe it's the exercise that I do is being on stage and jumping in.
Just like your music said,
But point of correction, I was nominated as Best Vocal of the Year, but the award wasn't given to me.
Have become very topical, and I'm sure Valerie will go there. She's just scribbling away.
And also Best New Gospel Artist of the Year, and that one also they did not give it to me. Yes, and so I haven't won any award yet.
We are going there. We are going there.
Why do you think this is so? Because when CAF had when we hosted the gospel musicians, we hosted them earlier during the week, and they mentioned, some of Scott Evans actually mentioned that sometimes giving the awards at the proper day of the award ceremony, when you're there, to pass backstage and tell you that the award will be given to you backstage. Why do you think the award wasn't given to you? Did you ask any questions?
No.
You just let it go?
Oh yes, because for some of us, the award is not our focus. The focus is to reach out to people. In fact, before I came out with my first album, I wasn't too much abreast with the system, like what they usually do. So coming out and people hearing my song and appreciating it, and I was selected, it was not a big thing to me, because that was not where my focus was. I was looking at my songs, reaching out to people, touching hearts, drawing people closer to God. That was where my focus was. So I was not too much affected with the denial of they not giving the award to me.
But a nomination is a win in itself, isn't it? Because it's an acknowledgement of how good your craft is and how it's made an impact in the lives of people. And for someone who's into ministry and gospel ministry, I'm sure that comes with a certain level of satisfaction. So all nominees deserve it, is what some people say.
Okay. For me, almost, I think all the albums that I've done, all of them were nominated. This one was unfortunate, because when one of the awards, in fact, those that were competing with me on that same award, like on that same category, one of them said, "This award, you deserve it," but I think they have taken it from you.
Was it the 2013?
I don't want to go there.
That's all right.
But one of them.
Anyways, so music is really where the passion for you is, and using that as a tool to reach people with the message of the gospel. Are you still doing music? Where have you been?
At a point, we withdrew from the music ministry, because we had a transition in the music industry where they went on the digital platforms, and those times when we were doing music, we had producers who were doing our, like, taking care of everything. They were managing us, they were promoting our songs, and we were dealing with the traditional media, which is the TV stations and the radio stations, until the social media came in, and some of us were not prepared enough for the transition, the change. So it became difficult, because we didn't have much knowledge of how to go about it. So when the producers stopped sponsoring the music industry, like, because they were not getting money from it because of the digitalization, when people started downloading our songs through the social media handles. So they were not getting money, so most of them sponsoring the songs, and it became difficult for some of us who were depending on producers to bring us out. And also we didn't have enough funds to be able to produce the songs that we used to compose. So we have to just lay back.
Why not? Didn't music pay?
In the gospel circle, some of us, we didn't have enough money, even though you have a big name, but you will not get enough money because with the gospel, like in the Christian fraternity, you know that when you are a musician and you try to talk about monetary aspect, like when people are inviting you and you want to talk to them about money, it becomes difficult for some people to accept that part is also necessary for the ministry to run. So at that time, when somebody invites you to a program, you just say, "Oh, I'll come," and you go. And after the program, some of them will tell you that, "Oh, you hear from us.
God bless you.
God bless you."
Give you transport.
They'll give you transport, and if they give you transport, the transportation, someone can give you, let's say, 100 cities, 50 cities, as you come to the program.
Is that a hard lesson that you've had to teach the new school of gospel artists? And I'll hand this over back to Valerie in a short while. But because we're on the issue of finances, did you make money from your music? We've talked to the younger artists about royalties and how they hoped that things would be better for them now because of the experiences of people like you who blazed the trail for some of them.
Thank God that now we have the digital stores to sell your songs there. If we are depending on royalties, it will be very, very difficult to have money. Because as it stands now, I think the last time I received a royalty from copyright, I think it was around, maybe it was not even close to 200 Ghana cedis for a whole year. So you can imagine the royalties. What can 200 cedis do for you? So now that we are selling our songs on the digital stores, at least if you have many streams, then you'll be able to generate at least a little funds to support your ministry.
So you've caught up with the trends, with the social media trends?
Yes, that's why we are coming back, because at that time I didn't want to come out if I don't have right people to work with, because that one can also create problem for you. You need to have right people who can manage that aspect. When you don't have the right people to work with, it will be the situation will be the same. So now we've gotten people to work with who are handling that aspect.
Okay, can I come in here? You talked about missing out on when the world was gradually phasing out traditional media onto the digital space. Your music is evergreen. Before we came on, when your song came up, it turned into a mini karaoke session here because everybody caught on. Do you think it's possible, well, now that you've joined the social media fray and modern day digital marketing, to take those old songs perhaps and put them onto your channels and make money? Is that possible?
Oh yes. Now we've uploaded all our songs on those stores. So if you want to stream the songs, you can get it on those platforms. So we've taken all of them to
so then we are not losing out on all of that material.
Oh no. That defines you. That sells who you are. So we've put it there. You are not losing it. In fact, some time ago I was not putting my products on those platforms, but just recently, barely maybe 2 months or 3 months ago, we started, and by the grace of God, it's doing well.
Who do you listen to these days, apart from yourself?
Okay, I don't have specific person I listen to, but those times I used to listen to Don Moen, and I like his songs. I like every song of Don Moen, and I like good music. So if it's a gospel song and it's good, and I come by those songs, I appreciate it.
There are gospel musicians in Ghana, younger ones who perhaps you inspired to get into the space. Do you listen to any of them?
Actually, how I came into the industry, I was not a musician. I learned how to play the keyboard, but I was not actively in the music industry, so I didn't have much knowledge even of how to go about, the whole thing. When I was coming out, I have to talk to people to guide me, show me how to go about it.
Who inspired you?
In fact, the inspiration, it came by the work that I was doing. Actually, I was evangelizing, I was preaching around, go to house, visiting church members. That was the work I was doing before I came out. So one day I prayed and asked the Lord that he should give me the music ministry so that I'll use that platform to reach out. Actually, those times when I was preaching, I was very lean, and people were despising me. In fact, when I saw the video in Timepa Mini and Osweta Ochi, I don't know if Va is from my family. I don't know, because from my
similar
family,
size.
yes, similar size. From my family, that is how we are. In fact, I'm the fattest person in my family. And
same, yeah, for me as well, yeah. So I'm the fattest in the family, yeah.
And Moses OK is our guest on the Scoop segment this morning on GTV Breakfast, and we are trying to get to know him a bit better. Let's enjoy Niawaye. Waye Bebre. Moses OK. What inspired this song?
Intimate family. At that time, I was going through hardship. Things were not rosy. Things were very, very hard. But I learned something. I learned from the Word of God that when we pray, we need to believe that we have received. So I was thanking God for where He's taken me. I haven't gotten to that place. I knew that I would get to that place. So I was thanking God for where He's taken me. And I believe that and the song relate to many people also who started from somewhere, and God has taken them to a place of honor or a place of glory. So it was also a reminder to remind people that they shouldn't have to forget themselves, and they shouldn't have to forget themselves and remember that God has been good to them, and they need to appreciate God. And if they are drifting, they have to come back to Him. So I was just thanking Him for where He's taken me, and also drawing people's attention on they remembering where they were and how far God has brought them.
Do you always use your personal experiences to write your music? Because you always touch on very deep personal things. And is that hard, using yourself as a canvas to paint a picture to the world?
Oh, certainly. If you compose songs by yourself, most of your songs will be inspired by experiences, the things that you go through, the encounters you will have, the messages that you receive through preaching. When you receive a powerful message, it becomes so easy for you to use that message to compose. So my songs, most of them are experiential songs.
Okay, do you remember how many years ago you put out this song?
Yes, it's 20 years.
Wow. So if you were to do a remix of the song now, would you use the same lyrics? What would you take out? And I'm seeing that the video was directed by Azigiza Jr. Tell us about putting the whole video together and working with people like Azigiza back in the day. And then let's compare it to now. If you were to change it, what you would add?
Okay. For now, I may not be able to change much because the song itself is very powerful and very insightful. You know, when you listen to the lyrics it's complete. So I may not do much about it, but since it's going to be a remix, there has to be some changes. But for the lyrics, it will be difficult for me to change it.
If you had to put someone on there, who would you put on there? If you had to feature anybody on the song now?
Okay. I haven't thought of it yet, but now that you've made me understand that you like my songs, so the featuring, I think Thema will.
Valerie can't carry a tune in a bucket.
Oh, really?
She cannot carry a tune.
I can't. No.
Oh,
I can't.
okay.
If you give her a bucket, she still can't carry the tune.
Wow. Then I have to choose you.
No, but seriously, if you were to choose anybody at all in the music space, be it from the gospel sector, secular, Afro beats, who would you pick?
For the secular, I will not choose any of them, but for the gospel, I will definitely choose. I'll choose any of them with a story that can relate to the song.
Okay.
Like Joe. The other time I heard of Joe Metal talking about how things were and what God has done for him. So I believe the song can resonate with his experience. So maybe Joe can be considered. I haven't thought of it yet, but if I want to do that, then maybe I'll seek his consent if he want to do that.
Right. But why weren't you picking any secular artist?
That's personal, preference.
Okay. And so, how long have you been around? This song is 20 years. How long have you been around professionally as a musician?
Okay, being a professional musician started from the 20 years. As I said, I did not conclude when I was talking about how I came into the industry. I started as an evangelist preaching around, and I prayed and asked the Lord to give me the music ministry, so that with the music ministry, as people accept me, like as I become popular, because those times people were, respecting, and they were not receiving me as they should because of how I was. So I prayed and asked the Lord that He should grant me grace to release a song that people will accept, so that when they accept me, they will be easy for me to reach out to them. So that's how it came to be the ministry. came to be. So I was not doing music professionally at that time.
You were preaching on the
I was
streets?
just preaching.
Where? Which? Accra, Kumasi?
Railways. They had KGTR, Ashdown. You go to those places and
you were preaching in the market?
Yes.
What's your background? Where did you grow up? Did you have formal education? Up to what point? And then at which point did pastoring and ministry become your call?
Okay. I grew up from Achiase, and I schooled at Achiase Methodist Primary School. Then I moved to Kumasi and I went to Phillips Commercial College. Unfortunately, I dropped out of school in my first year, and then
why?
It was because of financial issues in the house, so I have to quit school. And after that, I went to Bible school. After, not immediately after, I started working, and after some time. Since when I was growing up, I knew that I'm going to do the work of God. Even when I was choosing school, when I was in the GSS, I asked that I want to go to Bible school, and my master told me that you are a fool. You don't go to Bible school after GSS. You go to secondary school first. So after that. When I was in when I dropped out of school, I started working, and after working, later I found a Bible school, and I enrolled in that Bible school.
And now you're here.
Yes.
What did Ejao Seibonsu and Mami Georgina Entry expect you would become, and were they surprised that your life took this turn?
My father left me at I think maybe I was not even 1 year when my father left. So
left to go where?
He was not around. He went to Nigeria, and we did not see him. I did not see him again. The last time I saw my father, I was around maybe 17 years. But when he came into the scene, he wasn't able to take care of me. Unfortunately, he's late now. That's why I'm talking about it. But I stayed with my stepfather and my mother, and my stepfather wanted me to learn a trade. He wanted me to be a tailor. At that time, they call it a tailor.
Do you have any skill in tailoring?
No. I knew that I would be a pastor, so what was driving me was to do the work of God. But he was insisting that I should learn the trade, learn how to sew. And because I was not agreeing with what he wanted me to do, it happened that we became rivals in the house, and you see him and he was not happy at all. Anytime you see his face, you could see that the man if he gets you,
he had a lot to say.
but later, when the Lord turned my captivity around and he came in, anytime people come to, and he was sewing for big men, doctors and lawyers, ministers. They were coming to our house, and anytime they come around, he will call. He will not mention the name he used to call me in the house. He will call Moses. Okay, where are you, brah? Kwaku, brah. Moses, brah. And those times, I know. Anytime he call me Moses, okay, I know. So he's going to.
Show you.
No, yes, he's going to take some sign from me. So later it was resolved. He apologized that he was opposing my interest and my vision. So that's how it was.
And here you are now, and in an industry that is reverent of legends like you, but also very sharply different from the times when you were active. This bridge that exists between the old school and the new school, what do you think can best be put in place to make sure it works? That way we still have the sensational old-time gospel feel, but still include some new funk into it that would be more appealing to today's generation.
Okay, well, I believe that when you are a composer and you are composing, you have to consider a lot of things before you release any song. You have to consider the people you are going to minister to. When we enter into a dispensation or a generation, you have to weigh the things that they like and the things that they are doing. Compare what you used to do and what is coming, and you have to find a way of blending both to be able to appeal to the young ones and the new ones, the old ones that you were ministering to. So just recently we released a new project, and those that have followed my ministry for some time, you will see that we it's not too much of a difference from my old and the new era that we are in now. The combination, you could see it when you listen. In fact,
you put that out a month ago.
Yes, over almost
Enemenko.
When it came, I think on one of my social media handles, one guy said that in his workplace, when the song was being played, somebody said the song is Joe Mettel's song. And he said, no, this voice, it sounds like Moses OK. And they were arguing. And later when they find out, they realized that
it was
Moses OK. So if Joe is accepted and they are comparing the song with Joe Mettel's song, it means that God has graced us enough to be able to emerge with a new generation. And those that have followed my song for years, my pattern of song, I don't really do a particular style of music or genre. I do R&B. Sometimes I can go not typical hip hop, but you can have a blend of hip hop, reggae, Bogger High Life, ballad. I do all of them. So
what has been the reception like for this new Moses OK that you're bringing on board?
In fact, I did not even anticipated that it's going to be like this. Coming back, the acceptance is huge. It's huge. In fact, when I was coming out, I thought that people have forgotten me. But when the song came, they were like, we know Moses OK can do it. That is the comment I've been receiving. And most people who call and most people who are commenting now, through the social media, you can do reviews. So if it is not doing well, you could see from the comments. So all the platforms, you hear people sending messages, you see people commenting beautifully. So I believe it's really.
Where can people get this new song, this new music you're churning out? What are your handles? Let's follow you. Let's keep up with your new one.
On Facebook, the name is Moses. I'm using Moses OK Ministries on Facebook, Instagram, official Moses OK, TikTok, official Moses OK. Which one? Twitter, official Moses OK. YouTube, official Moses OK. And when you go on the digital stores, the digital stores, we have Moses OK on those platforms. When you go to iTunes, when you go to Apple Music, Spotify, Boomplay, Audiomack, and all those, you will stream the song on those platforms.
Well, I'm curious to know, Enemenko, will Russia says
Enemenko.
Translating into walk with me.
Take me along.
Go with me.
Go with me.
Go with me.
Okay, the video isn't out yet, but
the video is out.
No?
It's out.
Oh wow, my producer definitely has to be lashed for this.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, so what inspired Enemenko Walk With Me? Is it in relation to recent times with all that's happening around?
I realized that many people have deserted God. They are not relating with Him. They believe that if you have more followers, they believe that if you have more connections, you are good to go. But I've come to the realization in life that without God, we are nothing. And you are too vulnerable. You are too weak. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you have. If you don't have God on your side, you are wretched. So for the years that God has been like, I've walked with him,
Right.
I've realized that my relevance depends on his presence, depends on he being with me. Nobody knew me. The things that I was doing, if it was not the Lord being on my side to help me, there is no way I'll be able to get to where I am. Even for me to even speak like the way I'm speaking, it has been by the mercies of God. For me to be able to compose songs that can stay, relevant for this
20
long.
plus years.
This long, and almost all my songs like Irate uni medino ye semana wasiana mi boniefo semi kai baby mi free nim pempe swa udi medura adumura uni medino ye waheme swa ma depa achimeni mebusie medawase meda have been in existence for 16 years, even this one. And for 16 years, by the grace of God, you go to a place and people are
still
singing.
playing it.
They are singing it. They are ministering it. It's.
Moses, okay,
beautiful.
the new song. Give us a line of that before we let you rise.
Okay, the new song.
It's actually, we found the video.
We did.
Actually found
so
the video.
I want him to
Yes,
serenade us, and then we'll
Yes,
walk out of
video,
here
yeah.
with this. But let me wrap this up by saying thank you to you, Moses Osei Kwarteng, aka Moses OK, gospel sensation and legend, nominated for Best Male Vocal Performance and New Gospel Artist of the Year in one of the years at the VGMA. Listen, because of this awards thing, should we have a separate award for just gospel music and gospel musicians?
I believe
Do you
so.
think that will project the craft more fully?
I believe so, because I pray that in the gospel, the fraternity, the gospel will not be like the secular, because sometimes
there's a Gospel Achievers Award. Is it achieving anything for gospel musicians?
I don't know much about it, because as I said, I've stayed off of the industry for quite some time now, so I'm yet to know what is going on. So, but I believe since those ones will be influenced by men of God, I pray that it will be influenced by men of God and people who are godly. I believe maybe we are going to be able to award people who really deserve the awards. I pray so.
Thank you. Valerie, thank you for sitting on this with me. I know that you're going to be having an engagement with Wolasi, so thank you for tag teaming me on this one. Our scoop with Moses Osei Kwarteng, Moses OK, new music out, and he's about to let us sample a bit of it before we scoot out of here. Let's hear it.
Kawana eyeye dimeni na bie kwamami se unimwa enyeye eniminko semini onamwa na mini apimpim nam o eniminko Jesus eniminko o kamehowa ana eyeye honam hina nyankopon bibiara niwa eyedema wo bebie ni daso nyina sampo obemwa ensentrani sisi enimiko samene onamwa na mini apimpim na enimiko Eniminko, o kamehoa, ana eyeye this part, and eyemidawase, o kahua na yehume, o kahua na yejimi tumu, o kahua na sentreni dimechi, Jesus, o kahua na yehume, o kahua na yejimi tumu, o kahua na sentreni dimechi. Jesus, eniminko.
Moses, okay, thank you. God bless your ministry.
Amen.
And we will look forward to hearing more from you as you hear from the Lord.
God bless you for having me.
Moses OK is live on social media handles, Moses OK Ministries or official Moses OK. Look for him across all platforms. New music out from the legend himself. Enjoy this new one. And we'll be back to continue with the show.
mani na pie kwa mani se uni mwa enye animi ko sameni ona mwa na mene apim now Jesus animi ko Jesus nyami ma Jesus animi ko oh come home ana your presence makes a difference. Lord, help me. Central